Hello everyone, it is Professor Oleander again, and as you can see, we're back in Railroader, and I'm I'm a little bit lost. I haven't played on here in a while, and actually I just popped into the game because I wanted to do some recording this morning. I actually got up probably 20 minutes ago. Looked at the weather; it's supposed to be stormy all weekend, and I happen to be off this weekend, and I'm actually looking at the radar right now, and I've got about a 2 hour window before the storms get here, and it's supposed to get pretty rough. So, figure I would go ahead and just make a recording this morning about what we got going on, and you'll get caught up with me because I honestly don't remember where I was. Some things that I will mention right off the bat is I've added a couple more mods. One of them is not working. Let me see which one it is. Is it that one? I added an EMD, the F7B mod. Now, I'm going to say this. I just briefly read on Discord that apparently there was a leak. Somehow, some way, I don't know all the drama behind it, but somehow somebody got the F unit files out of the game. They got distributed. There was some significant drama that got associated with it. I don't know if the developers have disabled it. I don't know if that mod that I downloaded from Nexus was the mod. All I can tell you is that whenever I go in to purchase said F unit, oh, actually, there it is. It's funny because when I was in my mod testing save, it wouldn't show up. It wasn't in the purchase window, and the B unit is not in here either. It's just the F's. Actually, I'm sorry, that's not the F7. I told you it's early. I haven't had enough caffeine yet. This is the Santa Fe. I keep forgetting they added a new 10 wheeler, or not a 10 wheeler, but not a decapod either. Yeah, not a decapod. They added the Santa Fe, so ignore me. But yeah, the F unit's not in game. It's not under diesels. I haven't been able to find it under anything, so I don't know if it got disabled or if the mod got broke or whatever. The thing that I did add, you see down here where it says flat logs, I now have a logging gondola, a logging flat car, and another logging gondola. And I think the 100 ton pulpwood gondola. This is a mod that is on Nexus. I added it. I'm probably going to transition over to these. So yeah, it should be interesting. I don't know. I mean, this just holds 100 tons. We're going to be starting. I'm doing this because it will help me run smaller trains. Because this is the original 40-foot skeleton car, holds 3 logs. This one holds 6. This one holds 8. That one holds 12. I'm not a fan of logs in gondolas. I don't know exactly how prevalent those were at this point in time as far as putting logs into a gondola, because I don't know. I know during the 70s, I think it was the 70s, RJ Corman was the one that came up with the notion of taking a backhoe and able to put it into a gondola to unload ties. I don't know what the unloading capacity would have been at some of the mills to get logs out during that time period. So I don't know. We may use it, we may not. The flat cars make sense to me. You roll them off into the pond. The guns, not so much. So what have we got here? We've got Bryson Team 1, which is that guy right there. That guy is due for interchange. And then these have got to go onto Alarka. So let's go ahead and grab 550 here. And let's tell him to go manual. And I want to go ahead and I'm just going to kick that car in there. Is there enough room? Yeah, there's enough room. So we'll just kick this car into oblivion. Let me grab that, and forgive me because I've got to remember how to do this. I haven't played this game in a while, and the reason why I haven't played this game in a while, and I'm going to blame Kerbo, because Kerbo's not really active because of real life things. I was watching his channel, and he sort of got me into Vintage Story, and that game is 100% addictive. And when I haven't been playing with train simulators, it has been playing Vintage Story. Which, if you don't know what Vintage Story is, it's a game that's very similar to Minecraft, except it's on steroids. It's basically a survival game, way deeper than Minecraft could ever think about being. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. All right, good enough. All right, so I can send you on to Elio Arca. I think. Okay, it's still working. I keep meaning to download. I gotta get that guy into position 2. We'll do that here shortly. I keep meaning to download the new version of this, and I haven't done it yet. So let's just try to check and make sure. He has to go to the Alarka Junction site, the Alarka expansion site, which I think it's still right there. Let me check here. Larka Station, Larka expansion. Let's see. So that is actually down in here, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So Larka expansion. All right, it's right there beside the house. This is for the yard, I believe. Actually, what milestone am I on? Okay, the balloon loop. Okay. I can't remember how that gets done. I've seen pictures of it, but it's been so long since I've seen pictures I can't remember. So let's go ahead and send that guy. I need to go ahead and get everything lined away for him. So that's all straight. He's going to come down here. Straight. Actually, yeah. Okay, that's right. That's right. And we'll stop him. Let's see. Expansion. I wish that the little engine house here was on this map. It'd be a little bit easier to spot it. So let's just bring him down. Is that 232? No, that's 551. Okay, 551 is right here. Where is the site? Where did it say? Okay, so it's this track right here. Is that right? This track. So this one. So we need to here, and he'll be shoving, so he can just shove all the way in there. Okay, so 551, which I can do my roster, and I can say 550, which is the one that I'm currently looking at. I'll give him road, clear him for 30, and off he goes. Okay, so what else have we got here? The coaling tower that's in Alarka is almost full. I could swap out these guys. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. When that train comes down here, when he goes back to send the stuff to Whittier, then I'll send that car on with him. So the next phase, let's see. I've got cars at Robinson that are still loading. What else have we got? He's on the move. Nothing in Bryson's ready. Some of these cars are probably ready though. Yeah, those are ready. Ah, here's something we can do. We can go and get the log cars pulled up. So, Book of Lies, so I can see my maps. I think it's 11 cars. I think it's 11 cars. Where am I looking? I'm looking Walker, Texas Ranger, right? Okay, Walker Branch. Yeah, 11 cars. E11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So let's grab you, put on your handbrake, cut you loose. Yes, I know. Grab you, select, turn that off. Put you in manual. And you on up. I did download another whistle pack. There's a lot more whistles in this one. Let me see if I can pull up some of them. And this is on Nexus. And there were actually, yeah, all these ones down here at the bottom. There's several of them that are actually pretty nice. And again, I've heard people say that the way the game, it's more of a Unity problem. The way that Unity handles, man, that's annoying. The way that Unity handles some of the sounds is really weird. Like, alright, so I must have miscounted. Did I miscount? Let's find out. No, I didn't miscount. I just forgot to count the tender. I didn't tear anything up. No. Okay. I just forgot to count the tender and the engine. So we can only take 9 cars with us. So I need to cut that car off. I have caffeine beside me and I'm not even halfway through it, but I slept like a log last night because I was so exhausted. Because I had to end up working an extra on Friday, and I work in 12-hour intervals. So I basically did 48s this week, and while it is not as strenuous as the previous jobs that I've had, it is still, it's a lot more mental. And yeah, I was just tired. I've also had hay fever because it's been unbearably dry here. When it's rained, we've had like sprinkles and that's been about it. So dust and everything has been so bad. And then when I was walking around yesterday, you could hear the grass crunching under your feet. It's gotten so dry. We're only abnormally dry, so it's not terrible yet. And we're supposed to get, I think they're saying like 2 inches of rain today. So hopefully that'll help. Because I've been like, I was noticing it yesterday. It was like it's getting harder and harder to breathe because there's just so much dust because we've had a lot of wind. So anyway, where was I talking about here? Let's look at these whistles. So that was at Nathan. This is supposed to be 765s. And it kind of sounds like it, but I think, oh god, that is annoying. I wish they would make it where this little drop down menu here counts as the box, because that's why it's doing that. But it's almost like that one actually sounds closer to the 765 whistle that I remember before it got kind of messed up. So let's see, what engine is this? I honestly can't even remember how I I did go through and I renumbered all my engines, and now I can't remember what my scheme was. Okay, now I remember. So the numbering scheme that I went with is based off of their tractive effort. So 460s. 46 is the precursor to the C46s. So if I go back through my engine roster here, that would be the 24,000 pound tractive effort, 35, 46, 55, and 55. And then whenever I get to the 75s, they will start with 750. When we get beyond 10 engines, which I don't know that I'll get to the point where I have more than 10 of one class, I may go to 4-digit numbers. I don't know yet. So let's see. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing this. I don't want him to back in there. I want him to go straight down here. Tell me it's too close to the switch. Bring him up to 15. So let's play around with some more whistles. Because there were a few in here that I actually really liked. I was kind of sad about these Lunkenheimers because we had a Lunkenheimer factory whistle. It was a 3-chime brass bell, and it was either a 16 or an 18-inch one, and it actually sounded really good. I know there was one down here towards the bottom. I'm actually a fan of 5 and 6 chimes, and I'm also a fan of the Southern Pacific ones. I'm gonna reserve that one for another engine. I think I'm gonna use that one there. Coincidentally, that particular whistle sat in my office for a decent amount of time. We pulled it out of a container because we were rearranging stuff, and it actually sat in the corner of my office for, I want to say, a year or so. My office became like the safe haven for whistles. So there was a brass bell N&W Hooter, and that was the 3-piece one. So it had a flat top, the bell, and then the bowl. And let's see, one of the Pensy whistles came through there. New York Central Hudson whistle came through there. I think, I'm trying to think, there was another one that we used. Oh, that Mountain, the TS1 whistle, that came through there. So, one of the things that I heard about is actually yesterday, and it was a video that Schnauzer Power just put out, was that Dovetail has decided to go with the subscription model, which I was like, I think we all knew that was only a matter of time before that happened, because just based off of how greedy they've been in the past. And I'm not saying it's a good thing, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm gonna say that they're probably not gonna get the return on it that they think they are. I think that it's probably not gonna go well for them. I would imagine the reason why they're doing it is because they're not getting the returns, or they're not making enough money, so they have to find a way to make more because their products are not selling because, shocker, nobody is liking them. Their audience has shrunk down just because they've been greedy. They have 100% been greedy with everything they've released in the past 5 or 6 years now, since really Train Sim World came out in late 18, the first one, and it really did not live up to expectations as far as what it was supposed to deliver, because I remember the days when they were saying, you know, this is going to be the greatest simulator that's ever been made in the history of mankind, and then it wasn't. And you know, they had to eat some crow, and it was plagued with problems, performance issues. They oversold what they were going to deliver on. It was supposed to have multiplayer, and it was supposed to have a editor, and it was supposed to be released on consoles, and none of that happened. And even with the latest iteration of Train Sim World, they've only now gotten it to the point where it can be run on consoles, but it's so dumbed down. Like, I remember when they first came out with it, the throttle was basically cruise control. That's essentially how it was set up. And even the developers said that yes, they simplified the throttle because I don't remember if it was because of when they were gearing it towards consoles, they had to simplify everything so that it would work on consoles, because you couldn't get the depth of simulation that you wanted. And I was like, well, why did you tell everybody that, you know, feel the real was the whole thing? But you know, for years they've been basically rebranding the same game over and over and over again, and throwing just a little bit of eye candy into it to make you feel like you're getting value for your money. And then on top of that, that game has been propped up by third-party DLC content creators for over a decade. And Dovetail knows this. Now, they make some of their own DLC, but for the majority of the stuff that you find on the marketplace for them through their DLC store, the majority of that stuff is made by third party, including Smokebox, who I've talked to several times about this. And I'm not going to tell any kind of secrets or anything like that, but he was never really a fan of their system. And I feel bad because I wanted to do videos on the big boy, but when their practices became more and more predatory in terms of how in terms of just how the only thing that mattered to them was money. They wanted to make money. They didn't care about the community. They didn't care about the fan base. They didn't care. They weren't doing quality control on the content that was being added to their game, or any of the DLC for that matter. That the only thing they cared about was, we just have to have all this stuff in there so that way it's almost like a stock portfolio. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be there so that we can get people, so that it looks like we're doing better than we actually are. And I'm sure that there are some good people that work at Dovetail that don't feel that way, but I don't know who is on their marketing team, but they suck. They just suck. And it's like the only thing they want is money. So, as much as I want to do a video on the big boy that Smokebox made, because I actually happen to have worked on one, so I've seen some of that stuff up close and seen how it works. I'm not, just because I honestly don't want anything to do with Dovetail. I don't want to support them, show anything that they've done on screen, because I think I've played two of the Train Sim World titles. They both suck. Most of the people that I've talked to that have played them say they suck. Train Simulator is buggy, has been buggy for years. There is DLC that is in their store that has been out for almost 20 years now that they are still charging a premium price for. It's not been discounted. Most of their stuff is anywhere between $20 and $40. All the routes are $40. Some of them are just reusing assets that were already in the game. They're not adding anything new. It's just a route, which, I mean, that is what it is. If you want to pay the extra money for something that's basically just a rebranded asset, that's on you. But I think in the video that I watched that Schnauzer made, he was like, they're putting in the GG1. Well, the GG1 doesn't even have a cab. It's just kind of, it's just an external view bot. Only the external view has been done. There's no in-cab stuff. It's just white. It's like a white box. So, and that's supposed to be a selling point of the subscription thing. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are absolutely insane. But, you know, it is what it is. How many will this thing load? Anyway, point of fact, I will probably, I'm going to say probably because I don't ever want to say never. I will probably never, well, I said it there, but I'm probably not going to do any more Train Sim videos. I may go ahead and do the big boy video, just going over some of the stuff that Smokebox put into it, because the whole Stoker control system is worth a mention, because that is an interesting Stoker setup, and the way that he went through it, because he asked me for some input on that, and I told him, I said, you know, this and this, and I said, yes, it can pile up, and I said, you know, there are some things, and it I won't go into all of it, but yes, he did ask me some stuff about Stoker controls and whatnot, because I had seen how they were set up in the cab. And I think he actually ended up getting a hold of somebody that was with the Steam department for UP. And 550. That's the one I'm on, isn't it? No. Is he gonna make it? Where is he? Oh yeah, he's gonna make it. The water plug's right there. I was gonna say, because I've got fail. One of the mods that I'm running is oh man, which one is it? There is a destruction mod, I think. I think I'm still running. Yeah, catastrophic failures. Yeah, if you run out of water, your boiler blows up. So I don't want it to run out of water. But yeah, as far as the big boy's concerned, yes, I did. I offered him some help with that. It was very minor. I offered him some stuff when he redid the air brake script for Train Sim. He asked me a lot of questions on how they worked, and I think I sent him some diagrams and sent him a couple videos of how they're supposed to behave when you put the automatic on. This is for 26, because I didn't have access to an 8 or a 6 at the time. I said, when you do this does this. It's a ratio for the independent and all that. So I contributed some. I didn't contribute a whole lot. Oh, Lord have mercy. Now, all that being said, I may do it just because I've told him before that I was going to do it, and I just haven't. But, okay, 4 cars, and I've got 4 and 4. And then the other one will take 6 and 6. So that'll take 12. I can't remember how many cars I brought up here. I brought up enough. I do remember that. So let me go down here. Actually, I can do it from here. I remember how I did this. I brought enough. There's actually 2 days worth. There's my voice breaking again because it's so dry. There's enough stuff here in Walker to supply the Whittier sawmill for 2 days. That was how I laid it out. There's a 2-day supply for here so that while the other turn that's actually in Whittier now, this guy, and I think there might be some, no, it's just that one. So that this right here can be loading up in Connolly. So that gives me a 2-day supply to get Connolly loaded and then take it back, because there's enough. Walker has enough capacity where it can load all of this into within a day. So I actually need to go ahead and spot these. And let me just verify something. Where am I looking? Walker login. The upper yard will load 20. So I need to bring up 12 cars here. So I need to bring 12 cars up here to load. And then I need to take the other. They'll do 1 turn. This one will do 2.5. So I need to take 6. I need to take 12 cars over to the lower, and then I need to bring 12 more up here. And I think, I don't know why I keep putting my notebook away. I think that this will hold 20. Actually, no, it won't. It'll hold, I think it holds 10. No, it holds 11. This one holds 11, this one holds 18. Okay. So, let's go ahead and cut this guy loose. So yeah, long story short, I don't want to. I'm pretty much done. Why did I do that? I'm pretty much done with Dovetail at this point. I sincerely hope that if Microsoft doesn't get it, I hope that somebody steps in and offers to buy the IP. I don't think that they'll ever sell it because that's their like one thing that they have. You know, if they gave up the train simulator IP, they don't really have anything in their catalog. They had like a fishing simulator, and I think that didn't go anywhere. And Microsoft bought Flight Simulator back from them because, quite honestly, they weren't doing anything with it. At least I'm pretty sure that they bought it from them. This was years ago, because Flight Simulator X was Dovetail. And that's why they didn't reinvent anything. They were basically using the old architecture for years and years and years and years, not really putting any improvements into it. I don't know if it's because they just couldn't, they didn't know how to, or what, but you know, Microsoft apparently came up to them and said, hey, we want to redo it, and bought it from them, and that's why you've got Flight Simulator 2020 and now 2024, which I'm actually curious to see how they do 2024. So yeah, I kind of wish that somebody will buy it, gets the IP from them, and says, okay, we're going to start over and we're going to do this differently. Because if you think about it, the way that FSX was set up was, it was in sort of the same state that Flight Simulator, or what was I saying? FSX was in the same state that Train Simulator was in that it wasn't compatible with consoles because of XYZ. And Microsoft found a way to make it compatible with consoles without having to sacrifice a whole lot. You know, it still is a simulator, but you can play it on a console and it still feels like a simulator. I mean, I'm sure they made concessions in there somewhere, but you know, it still has a lot of the characteristics that make it that way. Even though some people will say X-Plane is better, I've never flown a plane, so I can't really tell you. But when you play Train Sim World, it's like it's not. Even I've played TSW4, and I really don't think it still doesn't feel right to me. That's just, again, my opinion. All right, so one of the things that I need to change is I'm going to turn off my continuous. Let's see, it's in settings, I think. Is it? It's. I'm forgetting how I turn it off. Actually, I think it is in the rail loader. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to turn off continuous service. It's mainly because I don't need it anymore. We have enough cars in play right now, and we're getting ready to expand because I've got a Larka coming. We're going to do it back to one service per day. And I may go back in there and change it to do 2 services a day. We'll see how things go. But for right now, I'm going to leave that off. So this has got to go in. This has to go to Bryson. I'm not going to worry with it. These guys here should be loaded by the end of the day. He's still unloading. And I've thought about this before. One of the things that I've noticed is when you first open up an industry, you get like a ton of cars that have to go to that industry because you're filling up their supply. And after that, it really kind of tapers off. Like, I remember when I first started doing the stuff here in Whittier, it was, you know, I was getting like a ton of cars, tons of cars, and these guys were loading out like crazy fast, and now it's really kind of slowed off. So that's something to keep in mind when you take on some of these contracts. So let me just make a double check. I don't have anything else anywhere. There's nothing in Bryson that really needs to be changed out except for that one car. So yeah, we're just going to be working on the Walker branch here, and then we've got to get the stuff over at Alarka. So I guess whenever I send him, go ahead and send him down the hill, and then we'll move over to Alarka. My wrist is bothering me. Now, how did you end up here? Did I not? I must have turned the wrong switch. Yeah, that switch was supposed to go the other way. That's alright. Let me just, yeah, you gotta go this way. Let's see. What you? Yes, I know you're getting low, but it'll be alright. I promise. So we'll just shove him in up against this one. So these are I haven't talked about it, but these are the locomotives that I plan to use in the Alarka branch. We've got the C55 here, and then this is the 060. So that's the plan, and I think this is going to be the engine that will be bringing the stuff down. So his job is to work between Alarka and Alarka Junction. So the through freight will actually come in He'll make his drops here in the little yard, and I'm actually going to add the big yard right here, because once we get tier 5 contracts, we're probably going to need it. But he'll come through, drop the cars into the yard. He will go up, pick them up, and then take them back down to Alarka. And the reason why I say I'm probably going to need the yard, because this is going to get a lot busier. I mean, it's already busy now, but there's not enough room, and this is something that's kind of crazy on the devs' part. There's actually not enough room in the storage tracks to handle all the cars that are up here in the loading tracks. So you almost have to have an engine up there to run back and forth to the yard to drop the cars off. So I don't need it right now, but I think that contract is only, let me see. Yeah, it goes to tier 4 tomorrow, so I'll have cars that are going to be waiting to go in. Okay, so he's going to come down and spot all these cars, and while he's doing that, I'm going to go to Walker, which is not on here. I mean, I can go to Bryson and get there. Nope, he's already there. So let's take control of this one. And manual. I need to grab, let's see, there was 8, so that'll give me, there's 1 up there. That'll give me 19 cars to go there. I'm probably going to go ahead and put the ones down on the other one first. Get those 12 out of the way. It'll be just a little bit easier to do that. So we'll go ahead and load up the lower logs before we do the upper. And do that. Take that handbrake off. He's got plenty of water. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll take all these, because I should have enough room there. I'll get coupled up to him and I'll let the AI take him back. And we'll see if there's enough room. There should be. I can't remember how long this train is. Well, I want to say there should be 22, 23-ish cars on this train left. Because I think I took 32. $25. That was actually 23 because I keep forgetting the tender in the engine. Okay, so let's reverse you and just get you 15. And while that's going on, let's go to, nope, not Cochrane. Larka. These are all spotted. Well, almost all spotted. You can, what are you talking about, man? There's a mile between you. Don't give me that. Yeah, I mean, you could fit a semi in between that. Union engineers. Even if it couples to it, it ain't the end of the world. Good enough. Alright. Set the handbrake. And I think this is going to take probably close to 10 hours. So while that's going on, I need to get you out of the way. And don't ask me why the diesel refueling stand is there. I have no idea. There. Get this thing spotted for fuel and oil, or fuel and coal. I don't know if they're going to put any coal burners into the, or no, they have coal burners. I don't know if they're going to put any oil burners in the game or not. Probably not, because I don't think there were any on this line. And I'm trying to even think if Southern had them, which I don't think they did. Southern was hauling so much coal, I don't think it would make any logical sense for them. Even though an oil burner would be interesting. It would be cool if at some point, I remember years ago when I first started playing Train Sim, one of the, it was one of the British scenarios. The Scotsman had a water scoop, and one of the scenarios was that the water troughs were low on water because there was a drought. So that is an interesting thing that could potentially go on. It's like you got to work in your, got to watch your water consumption, because the towers may not have enough to. Just one of those things. I wouldn't necessarily want you to do it, because that's not what they're focusing on in this game. But it's just, I've never seen another game do it since, where it's like, hey, we've had a drought, and you got to watch your water consumption. Okay, so I gotta remember which one's which. Well, let me go over here, because I can't remember now. I think this is, I'm pretty sure this one's logs. We'll be sure. Nope, that's pulpwood. Logs is the first one. So I was wrong. Alright, let's go. Actually, yeah, go that one first. There. That's it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to hit that. Okay. So that will get him spotted. And let's see what else can be done. I haven't looked at my finances yet, so I guess I should probably do that. Ugh, so terrible. But we've got 3 days before we have to pay, and we're gonna get a fair amount of money. And I don't think there's anything that I need to start selling off. I mean, this is basically what I own, aside from the skeleton cars. I don't have my crew set up yet. Let's see, what did we do yesterday? Because I've got the next daily report's getting ready to come out. So we were 1,200. We only spent 1,200 extra than what we brought in. 11,000 in freight. That does remind me, since I don't have any freight trains running, I do need to run passenger. And the reason why I say that is because the Alarka branch is open, which means now I have to hit Alarka and Cochrane. Which at some point I have to start another passenger train to just take care of Alarka and Cochrane. So there's no coaling tower up there, and you can... do I want to do it here? I guess I probably ought to. It can make it to Bryson. Is there enough coal here? Probably not. I've only got 2.7 tons. So I'm probably going to have to send him up to Bryson to refuel. That'd give him 6. He's got enough to make it there. So let's go ahead and get him sent on the way, because everything should be clear for him. So I'm almost to the point where I wish that, so they added the whole passenger thing, and I'm almost to the point where I wish that they would put it on the engine instead of the cars, where you just tell the engine to stop at all these points instead of having them go through what's ever tagged in the consist. And the reason why I say that is at some point, and they're working on it, where you tell the AI that you need him to spot that car over there, or you need him to go to this location, and it will actually throw its own switches to get there. That's why I say it's probably, at some point, it would be nice for them to swap over and say, we're going to do, I need the engine to go to these stations, but that's on down the line. All right, copy to coupled orders, and you're going to go wide open. And then when I get the message that he's in Bryson, I'll stop him and refuel him. He's got enough water too, I think. No, yeah, he does. The old fuel and water system, I'd say no. New fuel and water system, yes, he has enough. Let me give him a new. We're gonna give him a new whistle. Let's see. No, he needs one a little bit louder than that. Nope. I'm trying to think. There's one that I had. It might be this one. No, that's too deep. I don't want a deep whistle for the passenger train. Maybe. That's too much like a logging whistle. Yes, I know I'm being picky. No. Maybe. Actually, I think that'll work. I knew there was one in there that I was thinking of. Alright. So we got these cars here spotted. And they're already loading. The little gnomes are busy. Okay, so let's back you up here. I'm just looking at the weather to make sure. It's about an hour away at this point. I forgot there's a downhill, so it's going to take him a little bit to stop. Okay, so let's go down here to Alarka. He should just about be full of coal. And he is. We'll get him move forward. go. So he'll be ready to turn around. And let me double check something, because I can't remember how long I told the... Okay, I did tell them 5 minutes. So he's leaving Whittier now. I was going to go with 15, but I think 5 is fine for what I'm doing. When I eventually get to the point where I start running timetables, it'll be 15. Because 15 actually works out. So how many has he actually got? 54 and 60, so we got a full load, and these are going... Most of them are going to Bryson. A few of them are going to Alarka Junction. So that's good. We'll have a pretty good passenger day. Oh, hang on. Well, I just got a call that I've got to go and handle a couple things real quick. So I'm going to call it here, and then the next one will... I'll probably already finish all the stuff up. So I'll see you the next time.